Welcome back to Clarity Convos for Wedding Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Aislinn, and welcome back to part 2 of the quarterly planning series, where I am taking you behind the scenes on an exercise that I take my high-level clients through every single quarter, quarterly planning. This is part 2 of the series where we are going to be asking you questions that are going to help you sort through your feelings, stories, and reasons why you didn't hit your goals this past quarter. So buckle up and remember to take full responsibility for your own well-being. Meaning these questions are neutral, but your emotions are your responsibility. So if something comes up for you, let it be. It is not the question's fault. Okay, let's get into the questions for this. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper or save this episode to come back to. The very first question is, which of your consult calls felt the best regardless of the outcome? So of the consultation calls that you had in the past quarter, which one felt the best to you regardless of if they booked you or not? I don't want you to be like, oh, well, I feel really good about this one because they booked me. No. I want to know which of the consultation calls felt good to you, where you felt like you were really solid. You felt like you backed yourself. You felt like you followed your process. You felt like you showed up as your most confident self. I want you to know the answer to which of your consultation calls felt like that. And I want you to reflect on what exactly was it that made me feel that way in that consultation call. Was it prep work that I did? Was it that I made sure that I was well hydrated and had good sleep the night before? Was it that I had a process document in front of me and I was following that process document? Whatever it is, I want you to know the answer of why did that consultation call feel really good, regardless of what happened, whether they booked you or not. The next question I want you to answer for yourself is, where do you feel like you have gaps or things that need to get cleaned up? So if you looked at your business as a whole over the past quarter, where do you feel like you have gaps in your business or things that feel clunky, they feel heavy, or they feel like they need to get cleaned up? The next question is, do any of your prices need to raise or change? So remember that we are in the feelings section. So if you're feeling like, I feel kind of weird about my pricing, it might mean that you need to change the offer itself and what is included in the offer, or it might mean that we need to change the pricing. And the answer to that is going to be dependent on what you're doing in your business. The next question is a really important one. Did you have any situations where your emotions ran high? So this could be on consultation calls. This could be emails that you got from people that made you feel like you were spiraling. This could be networking events where you showed up and you didn't know anyone, and so you had really high emotions. Where in your business over the past quarter did emotions run high for you? And if you can answer this question for yourself as well, where did I not show up the way I wanted to show up because emotions were running high for me? And where did I use tools and resources that I have in order to get back to a grounded place? And if you don't have those tools and resources, I'm going to talk about an offer that I think would be really great for you at the end of this episode. The next question is, did you make your numbers mean anything about you? I love this question. My clients are always like, what do you mean by this? Like what does this mean? So I'm going to answer it for you. Did you make your numbers mean anything about you? So for example, if you had a lower month, let's just say cash was lower this month or sales was lower this month, and then you spiraled for a week, and during that week, you didn't edit the things that you needed to edit. You didn't blog the things you needed to blog. You didn't reach out to your vendor partners. You didn't plan for the next week or the next quarter. You didn't do anything towards your goals. You made that number mean something about you, and then you let the meeting become an excuse to not make progress. So I want you to be really real with yourself. Was there any place in the past quarter where you made your numbers or situations mean something about you? So for example, another example for you, let's just say you had a consultation call where you thought it went really great. You thought they were going to book you, and then they ended up going with someone else. Did you let that mean something about you where you let it be an excuse to not do work in your business? You let it be an excuse to not show up confidently in your business? I want you to be so serious with yourself. This is one of those questions that is going to change everything for you, because you're going to start to see patterns of where you play into patterns that keep you from doing the things that you want to do. So did you make any numbers or any situations mean something about you? And what was it that you made it mean about you? And then finally, this last question is there anything that I can streamline so that if I got 50 inquiries in the next 3 months, or however many inquiries that you got in the past quarter, is there anything that I can streamline so that if I get X amount of inquiries, I feel prepared? So you might think that this is a systems question, but this is actually a feelings question. So I want you to think about this for a second. If the next quarter was the most amazing quarter ever, like you had, let's just say 50 inquiries in a month, 50 qualified, amazing, wonderful inquiries in a month. What internally says you can't have that? What internally says that there's no way I could do that? What internally says everything would break if that happened? What internally says I don't deserve that? I'm not worthy of that? What internally is going to feel not great for you if you were to have 50 inquiries in a month, or whatever the number is that feels like unattainable to you? And is there anything I can do to streamline in order for me to feel more grounded in the possibility that my business could scale that way, in the possibility that I could get a lot of inquiries in 1 month, in the possibility that my business could be going so well that I could be overwhelmed in the best way possible? So internally, what are the things that need to get worked on? And then of course, like externally too, like, are there any process things that needs to get like streamlined? Is there anything there that needs to get looked at? This is a really good question when you are starting to really put in the effort and really put in the work, and you are seeing a lot more inquiries, you are seeing a lot more demand for your business. There are internal things that might feel like they're breaking. And so we need to look at this on a quarterly basis so that as we turn on the marketing machine and we turn on the fire hose of inquiries coming in, you don't freeze and like have a problem with actually having that much abundance coming in for you. So is there anything that I can streamline both emotionally and systematically? If I were to get an abundance of inquiries in a month, like how would I feel more prepared? So now that you have the feelings of what happened in the last quarter, it's time to reflect on the systems and habits that kept you from doing the things that you wanted to do or the things that need to get celebrated. So I want you to meet me in part 3 of the quarterly planning series for the next set of questions. And if you are looking for more ways to feel grounded and in control of your mindset in your creative business, then you need to be in Grounded. It's the perfect space for photographers and creatives who want to improve their mindset, they want to elevate their inner dialogue, and they want to feel more grounded and confident in their creative work. When you join, you're going to get access to 6 months of access to audios and trainings, such as growing your capacity, getting over comparison, discipline, breath work, being more confident. You're also going to get weekly drops that are journal prompts and exercises to train your mind to feel more grounded and confident. And you're going to get an entire module of quick audios to listen to on a wedding day so you can serve your clients better. I will see you guys in part 3 of the quarterly planning series, where we're going to be talking about systems and habits, and I'll see you in the next episode.